Alright, so I set your machine up here to test it, and I found out, yeah, the X and the Y motors work, and because I put the cables to the X and the Y, I was able to jog the X and the Y, but the Z motor didn't work. Okay, so I unplug the cables from one of the motors, like the X-axis here, okay, or the Y-axis, whatever it's called, and I plugged the cables. Since I know this works, I plugged the cables onto the Z motor. Okay, right here, I plugged the cables on the Z motor, and it doesn't work. Okay, so that tells me the problem is the Z motor, because we know the X and the Y drive just drove these motors fine. Okay, and the cables are fine. The cable's fine because it drove, the same cable drove the X motor, no problem. I moved them over on the Z motor, it doesn't work. So the problem is the Z motor, or the cables running to it. Okay, I look at the connector, it looks fine. Connector looks fine. I check the impedance of I check with an ohmmeter the continuity on the 3 motor wires, they're fine. But then I notice there's tape. There's tape on the encoder wire of the Z. Okay, why is there tape on the encoder wire? So I undo the tape, and there's a big notch in the wire right there. Okay, this is the problem right here. Somehow the wires got pinched, probably broke a wire inside this. Okay, that's the encoder and the Hall effect wires. So it was there's tape all along this wire and covering a problem. Okay, I don't know who did it or when it happened, but I didn't do it, that's for sure. Anyway, tape doesn't fix a broken wire. Okay, wrapping something in tape doesn't fix it. Okay, so that's your problem right there. Somehow the wires got pinched, somebody taped it up, and that's probably the last time it worked reliably. Okay, so that's what's wrong. All you had to do really was send me back the motor and the cable. But I mean, that's the problem. It's not hard to diagnose. If the cables work right up to this motor here, well then that eliminates the drive and the cables up to here. So then you just move those cables over to the other motor. If they don't work, it's the motor. Okay.